It is tough to be a parent. But parents, relatives, teachers, guardians, coaches, ministers, camp counselors, all care for children and their well-being. We're to protect them, tell them the important things in life from our wisdom. Hopefully that wisdom nourishes their lives to ensure healthy and safety. In youth ministry, we teach, if possible, to have 5 trusted adults in each child's life. One they can talk to, and hopefully one they listen to, especially in those times when parents really don't have a clue what you're all about. We all need help. We all need help to guide and guard us in our growing up. For me, I can think of a few. My camp director, John Howard at Camp Warren, Father Richard Keene Smith, a name that sounds familiar around here, Mrs. Eastman, cousins, aunts, uncles. In hindsight being 2020, every now and then my mother and father. But growing up's hard work, and trust me, I strained the system. I needed all the help I could get. Growing up means establishing our identity and figuring out our place in the world, creating relationships, setting priorities, making decisions, choosing our values and beliefs. Along the way, we're going to make mistakes. We're going to get lost, backtrack, and sometimes we just start over again. Ultimately, growing up means moving out and finding a new home. This may be physical or geographical. In my case, the Navy was my official launch. An aggressive launch, but I don't do things small. It most certainly was the most significant psychological and spiritual move I ever made. I gave my parents no warning, no conversations around my discernment to join the military. I just knew what I was doing wasn't working. I showed up one day with a recruiter, and just like that, I was gone. If I could hear their thoughts, wait, this isn't what I had planned for our son. Now I'm a parent, and thinking about my kids, I can imagine and can feel the anxiety, the worry, the panic my parents must have had. But after some time, and aligning some priorities within me and some beliefs, and later finding out that they were doing the same work, I found my way back home to a family with a new, deeper relationship. So it's no surprise to me that Mary would be in a panic when she discovers Jesus not with the group of travelers. With great anxiety, she and Joseph search for him. 3 days later, the one who was lost was found. Mary's first words are, "Child, why have you treated us like this?" What I really hear is, "Where have you been, young man? Your father and I did not survive angel visits, birthed in a manger, living like refugees in Egypt, just to have you lost in Jerusalem." But Jesus isn't the one that's lost. He knows who he is and where he belongs. The good news today is about growing up. It's not about Jesus growing up. It's about Mary and Joseph, and really about you and I. Growing up's not about how old we are. It's really about moving into a deep and a more authentic relationship with God, the world, each other, and the big one, ourselves. Jesus is the one that grows us up. He's the one who will grow up Mary and Joseph. As much as it's tough to admit at times, children have a way of doing that to their parents. They challenge us to look at our world, our lives, ourselves in new and different ways. Jesus put herself and Joseph in the center of Jesus' world. His question was about to undo that. Why were you searching for me? Did you not know I must be in my Father's house? Jesus is telling Mary she should have known where he was. As if he's saying, remember the angel told you I'd be here. Remember that night in Bethlehem? Angels praising God, shepherds glorifying God, Joseph's dream in Egypt. Where else could I be but here? Jesus has put, or rather shows, his Father is the center of his world and asks Mary to do the same. Move to my Father's house. Real growth almost always involves letting go. Mary moves to the Father's house, her growing up means that she will no longer have her boy Jesus. Jesus was born of Mary, but he's the Father's son. He is with her, but does not belong to her. She can give him love, not her thoughts or her ways. He's about his Father's business. Ultimately, she must strive to be like him, not make him like her. Jesus has moved from Mary and Joseph's home to the Father's home. This is not a rejection of his earthly parents, just a reprioritizing. He will ask the same of Simon, Andrew, James, and John. Follow me would be the invitation for them to leave their homes, their nets, their birth fathers, and move into a different place, to live a different life, to see with different eyes. It is what he asks of us today. Growing up spiritually involves leaving our comfort zone, letting go of what is safe and familiar, and moving to a bigger place, to the Father's place. This letting go is necessary if we are to grow in love and likeness of Christ. It means we must leave our little houses. We all live in different little houses, homes of fear, anger, prejudice, homes of grief and sorrow, homes which we have been told or convinced that we don't matter, that we're not enough, unacceptable, or unlovable. Homes in which we have been hurt or continue to hurt. Homes of sin or guilt, gossip, envy, or pride. Every one of us could name the different homes in which we live. Homes that keep our life small, our visions narrow. The problem is sometimes we've become too comfortable in these homes, but they are not our true home. They are not the home God offers us. We may have to pass through them, but we don't have to stay there. Jesus says there's not only another home for us, but invites us, guides us, and grows us up into that home. It is a place he knows well. It's his Father's home, in which we can know ourselves and each other as beloved children, created in his image and called to be like him. So why would we continue to pay rent or a mortgage on a home or a place that will impoverish us, when we could move to our Father's house for free? In the Father's house, the banquet is set. It is a home where we live in rooms of mercy, forgiveness, joy, love, beauty, generosity, and compassion. Leaving home does not necessarily mean leaving our physical homes, although sometimes it might. It does mean examining, reprioritizing the values, beliefs, and our relationships that establish our identity. Those relationships, that identity that give our life meaning and significance. It may mean letting go of an identity that's limited to our biological family, job, community, ethnic group, political party, and simply trusting, really trusting, that who we are is who we are in God. It means we stop relating to one another by comparison or competition or judgment, and begin relating through love, self-surrender, and vulnerability. It means that we let go of the fear about the future and discover that God's here right now, in the present, and that all shall be well. We stop ruminating on past guilts, regrets, and sins, and accept that mercy and forgiveness of God and each other. And really see our life not in opposition to others, but in intimate relationship, an intimate relationship with others that's dependent on one another. So I ask myself, and I invite you, what are the little homes in which we live? How have they bound up our life, stifled our growth, kept a distance from the Father's home? What might we have to leave behind in order to grow up and move to a better place? Those can be hard questions, painful questions, and ultimately, there are questions founded in love. So I'll ask the question again. Child, why have you treated us like this? Because I love you. I love you enough to grow you up, to find you where you are lost, and bring you with me into my Father's home. Amen.